detat. Give me a ball. I'm more tall. Detat, coup detat. Get rolling, so let's get the jump. Step out of line. Get to the block.
And just like the coup d'etat, it's over. Man, was I excited. Had the swords ready, insanity hat. I even had a coup d'etat song. Was waiting for the UVXY to rip. And it's over. Well, good morning. It's Saturday, and there was a coup d'etat in Turkey, if you didn't know. A failed coup d'etat. But maybe the coup d'etat residue will still make the market a little shaky on Monday. Doubtful, considering, again, Brexit didn't do anything. Ebola only lasted for 2 days. So if the coup d'etat is over, are we really going to be concerned about instability in Turkey? I was hoping to wake up, see millions perishing in a monstrous, full-blown war. Because, again, the peace-loving person that I used to be has been thwarted due to society making me into the raging, radical Judaism. Is there such a thing? I'm waiting for the Jews to write. Jews' lives matter. Meet me at the Freehold Mall and we'll riot. Let's go, Jews. Come on, Jews. Let's cause some, get a bunch of Hasids in their black outfits with some, I don't know, what weapon of choice would the Hasidic use? We'll throw those things they wear on not the yarmulkes, but I don't know. Jews' lives matter. Let's protest. Nobody cares about us. Plus, we're a minority. How come I don't get any benefits from being a minority? When my kids apply to college, I told them to put that we're minorities so we get benefits. I'm a minority. I've been persecuted. I got my ass kicked for being a Jew back where I lived. Nobody cared. Nobody made songs about me. I don't get a Jew check in the mail. Everybody thinks that because we're Jewish that we just control the media and the stock market and we get some sort of benefit check in the mail. Still waiting for the Jew check. Still waiting for the Jew check. What if I was a transgender Jew? Then suddenly I would be applauded. Look at the transgender Jew. He's a hero. He's a hero. Give him Man of the Year. See, I got it figured out now. I got it figured out, terrorists. See, we wouldn't be able to hate the terrorists if he was a transgender terrorist, right? Let's be proud of the transgender. Oh, look at him blowing himself up over there. Look at him go. He's so proud, so courageous. That transgender terrorist, so what, he killed 5,000 people. That took courage to come out and snip his balls off and go full-blown woman. Look at him blowing himself up like that. Let's make songs about him. Let's send his family some sort of money and put him on a front page of a magazine, right? We wouldn't know what to do. What if he was a transgender terrorist, right? Transgender jihadist suicide bomber. We don't know what to do. Do we hate him? Do we love him? Do we hate him? Do we love him? Do we give him an award? I don't know. Now, I don't care if you're transgender, you want to snip your balls off or slap one on. I don't care if you're gay or lesbian. I just don't want to make it front page news thrown in my face and that we have to applaud and we feel bad that if we're not applauding. Look at him or it or her or they. And we got to have debates. Don't we have other things to debate about than whether they could use the bathroom or not? Guess what? Guess what? I've snuck into the women's bathroom when I had to take a dump at a concert. I don't give a shit. I did give a shit. Literally. Society is doomed. And yet the market tends to shrug it off. Now I just want to talk about the market for 1 second and why it's difficult to be a trader. These last 2 days have not been fun. Sure, we made some UVXY money, but guess what? We gave it all back at the end of the day. Because generally UVXY collapses at the end of the day. So we're sitting there in the SVXY getting stopped out and then getting a little hammered in the aftermarket and giving back the whole day. And I apologize for that because, again, it's a gamble. We don't know what this thing's going to do at the end of the day, but percentages have been that use SVXY spikes into the end of the day, and this time it got absolutely slaughtered and went back down. Not that if you had a lot of shares, I mean, if you had a lot of shares, you had to take something. You had to take the loss. But if you had a few, there's no reason to get out of the whole thing, because somewhere in the next 25 years, again, you're not going to have to wait that long, SVXY will have an up day again. Might not be Monday, could be Tuesday, Wednesday, but if you don't have the amount of shares that's going to influence your life, if you got 1,000 shares on a $5,000 account, sure, it's going to make a difference. If you got a $50,000 account and you decide to hold 200 shares overnight, not going to make much of a dent, because what you're going to do is, if it goes down 5 points, 10 points, you're down $2,000, guess what? There'll be a day where you buy 800 more, and I'm pretty sure SVXY will have it'll have an up day sometime this year again. Could be even Monday. So, anyway, transgender terrorists. I think I've got it all figured out, because that's the way to go. We wouldn't be able to hate you in this country, right? So proud. So courageous. I had something else to talk about. Oh, right. I'm thinking about joining the cause that I was originally on, shorting. Now, I know it's not a good idea. I don't have unlimited funds. I cannot withstand the pain of the stocks going up in my face with the idea that they could possibly go up forever. And I know they don't go up forever. Even the rig, we sold out of it. Oh, by the way, we don't own rig anymore. We won. We won. We sold it that day when it went red. Sold some. Remember when it hit 13, couldn't hold 13, so we decided, you know what, bye-bye. Now let's talk about FEYE. What a piece of shit. Thinking about selling that too. But how about the AA, the Alcoa, almost back to $11. And I'll tell you, I sold 400 shares. Want the time? You want the exact time I did it? It was the aftermarket after the numbers came out. I sacrificed 400 shares as a offering to the gods to maybe get this thing to 11, possibly 12.50 sometime this year. I'm hoping. But I'm still thinking about dumping that. I'm thinking about going full cash, 99% cash, because I'm not selling the FEYE, ever. Nah, maybe I will. Maybe I won't. I'll let you know. AMD, fuck it. Gone. What else was there? So rig's gone. The Will, I got 100 shares left. That's gone. That stock is awful. So I lost $200 on that last 100 shares. Guess what? There will be a day where Will pops 20 cents. I'll make that $200 back, hopefully. Or maybe I never trade it again. Cash is king. But the point I'm making is I watched The Big Short again for the 10th time. If you haven't watched it, watch it. Because it'll piss you off as much as it pisses me off, to the point where you don't even want to be involved. You never want to put your money in the market. But most of all, if you're going to make something of your life, if you're thinking about what to do, go do some research on what really happened and how that movie will change your life after you watch it. Because if you don't fully understand it, watch it 5 times, 10 times. What they did is they committed fraud, conspiracy, and got away with it. They even committed murder. People killed themselves because they were losing their homes and their jobs. There were deaths caused by the bankers. And did anybody get in trouble? No. AIG was able to reform and become a real company again. The government saved the entire stock market. But guess what? Your buddy over at Lehman Brothers, who was just building an account, been working there for 3 years, building relationships, building a book, trying to make a career, he gets fired and loses all his clients and his money because some other asshole decided that these risky, I'm not going to get into the whole CDO, CMO, and all that stuff, what they did, and watch the movie. But the guy over at Bear Stearns, he's out of work because this other asshole decided to tinker with shit. What did they get out of it? They got unemployment. But everything's okay, right? So the world's burning. The world is literally burning. And I'm not going to pussyfoot around anymore. This is who I am. I hate all of this shit. Again, not only do I want to be back in the Wild West so we could settle our differences in the street and you find a plot of land You defend the plot of land, and that's your land. People come, you fight, and you keep your land. You had to have cunning and skills to farm your land, defend your land, that type of thing. And I'm sure there was corruption there. There was even more corruption back then. But I'm talking about, let's even go back to the Dark Ages, the Middle Ages, with swords and steeds and no internet. Not everybody had a phone. Wasting away in front of computers, dumbing down everything and everyone. Society's doomed, but the market doesn't care because it's all bullshit. Nobody cares. If reality was actually to set in, the Dow Jones would be at 4, not 4,000, 4. The NASDAQ would be -3 if reality ever set in. If reality was the way the stock market traded, the stocks would never move. The stocks only move on short squeezes, fear, and greed, and then short squeezes. And every once in a while, media-driven fear-mongering. That's all it is. Because you can't tell me the value of a company changes so drastically that a stock can go from $22 to $28 and then back to 25 and then to 18 and then back to 30. Nothing has changed with the company in that 3 months that the stock has done that. If a stock traded on earnings and what they do, all the stocks would do would basically meander around and wait for the next earnings report and then move. You'd have a little bit of profit taking, a little bit of new money coming in, and then it would sit around and do nothing. And we would just sit here and do nothing. It's all fear, greed, speculation, and computer-driven media hype and all that bullshit. And I'm sick of it. But let's make the terrorists transgender terrorists. I'm telling you, that would fuck everything up. I'm telling you guys, terrorists out there, if you're listening to me, cut your nuts off. Because then we wouldn't be able to hate you anymore. Look at him. Look at him, so proud. Defying logic. What we do. All right. Anyway. So yeah. Look, the next step in my progression of life. Now, oh, by the way, here. Let me go back to the SVXY trade. No matter how good of a trader you are, and I talk about these 80% reversals, and they do work. It's very difficult to sit at the desk and wait for them. But the one trade that did work, which is the craziest thing, was UVXY, breaking over VWL, went green, and popped. And then later in the day, it did it again, but we weren't looking for it to happen. But early in the day, that was a pretty awesome move, right? 666 to 705. That right there probably and should have been the only trade of the day because there really wasn't any other setups. But you're sitting there, waiting. I gotta do something. I'm sitting at the desk. And you do a trade, oh, you lose a little bit. You do another trade, I lose a little bit. It's very difficult. Sit there and wait. But that's it. That's it. And then you get into the SVXY at the end of the day where it has been working for months and months and months and doesn't work. So you lose your whole day. You're up $220. Next thing you know, you lose 190 of it. You just wasted your whole day in a minute and a half. I'm not embarrassed to admit it. That's what happens. It's not that I'm a bad trader or I don't know what I'm doing. A coup broke out. Coup broke out. What am I supposed to do? I got to take the loss. What if the coup started World War III, right? Maybe the SVXY opens up down at $40 on Monday. Is it worth the risk? No. So you take the small loss and you could sleep over the weekend. Now the coup didn't happen. Coup. No coup, bad coup for this, coup for that. I don't know. Coup, maybe on Monday we'll care about the coup. Right now we don't care about the coup. Maybe we do care about the coup. I don't know. But the one thing I try to express is that these trades, these reversal trades, they work. And they work intraday. And again, sometimes they're 8 cents, sometimes 12, sometimes 25. But when they do work and the trend continues, you take a little profit on the first pop, you put a stop on the rest, and a lot of times they follow through for the rest of the day and you have a pretty good day. But you just got to be disciplined enough not to do anything else. And that's the hard part. So I could show you the 4 or 5 ways I like to use VWAP. And obviously, when the VWAP turns into a reversal, those trades work even better. The VWAP into the reversal is the 80% trade. And when it's an earnings report, woo, forget about it. Sometimes they work about 90% of the time. And usually those trend. But here's the thing. Maybe I haven't mentioned this one, but I think I have. If I say something works 80% of the time, remember 20% of the time they're not working. Like, I think that was Wednesday, where we happened to be the 20%. We were 0 for 3. See? It's not all about winning money. It's all not about that. This was a tough week. Tough week. It was great that, the Glick funds got the QQQ and they kept going up, blah, 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 making me feel that it wasn't so bad. If I lose $40 on a trade, who cares? $80 here, oh, too bad. $100 there, oh, shit. Now, I know if you got $2,000 to your name and you lost 80, 120, and then another 40, you're not feeling good about yourself. It's all relative. But it's the process. It's the process. It's the process. You got to know how to not take a $40 loss. Like, I forgot what trade it was. But I took a $40 loss, and 2 hours later, if I hadn't taken the $40 loss, it would have been a $400 loss. So the way I look at it is that's a winning trade because it would have got a lot worse. Now, I know 3 days from now, which makes trading so annoying, is 3 days from now, that stock will be back to where I was in it and then some. And not only did I not have to take that $40 loss or the $400 loss, but it would have been probably a $200 gain. But that's not day trading. That's hoping and praying and wishing and hoping. Praying and hoping and wishing, but usually it goes wrong, right? It usually goes wrong. The $40 loss turns into a $400 loss, turns into a $2,000 loss, turns into a $5,000 loss. Then you take the loss, then it goes back up. That's what usually happens. Leaves you in the dirt, then goes back. Look at him. Look at that transgender terrorist. Oh my God. Set him free. Oh, he's been in Guantanamo? I can't say that word. Let him out of prison. He's thinking about doing transgender operation. Oh, let's do the operation for him. Obamacare. Right? Does Obamacare cover that? Hey, if the terrorists have been in the country now for more than 7 years, are they officially U.S. citizens? Transgender U.S. citizens? Give them an award. Give them an award. Society's doomed, people. Try to enjoy the weekend. Try to enjoy life, because the whole shithouse is going up in flames. And I want to short stocks with you. I want to believe. I want to believe that the market is rigged. Oh, by the way, I got another text or email or comment on one of my YouTube videos. When you use the word rigged and manipulated, you're showing your weakness. Those are loser terminologies. Are they? You don't think the market's rigged? You don't think it's manipulated? You don't think that CEOs have special friends that they tell about the earnings reports before the earnings reports come out? You don't think analysts are paid off to put buy and sell recommendations so hedge funds and institutions can get out without influencing the stock that day? They put buy recommendations on the stock to gap the stock up so the institution can then sell into that artificial gap up so they can get out without hitting the stock down too much. You don't think that happens? That's otherwise known as rigged and manipulated. You don't think the government supporting the market is a form of manipulation? Interest rates at 0 is a form of manipulation? No? None of that computes to you? All right. I hope you have unlimited funds and you're doing swell, fella. Because I tell you, the more I watch this shit, it drives me nuts. And again, when you watch The Big Short, ooh, man, you just want to rip somebody's head off after that movie's over. And I'm still pissed off about it today. I'm still pissed off at today. And now the coup failed. So I thought I had something to be excited about. Coup! I don't know. I don't know what to tell you anymore. But I could tell you that if you're really going to try to do this and I tell this to my new guys, don't let Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and again, maybe you were here, maybe you were there Friday morning, you did the UVXY trade, and you were gone. It's all, every individual is different. Maybe you were sitting there, Ken, here comes the UVXY, it's breaking VWAP at 666, what do we do? Buy it. All right, buy some. All right, it's at 681, I'm gonna start lightening up. Sell some at 681. Pulls back, thinking I made a good idea. All right, if you didn't sell it all, we're looking for 692 now. Oh, 692, sell some. All right, if it doesn't pull back to 681 now, hang on to it. Maybe we can get that $7 multi-day VWAP. Oh, and then it hit 702, 703. And, you know, again, I personally did not do that trade. I like taking, you know, I took 80% of the position off. I had a stop on, and I wound up getting stopped out anyway. See? Pretty upfront about my shitty-ass trades. So, wait, but that wasn't the moral of that story right there. The moral of the story is maybe you came in that morning, and that's the only trade you did. VWAP break into the reversal. Hey, there it is. You bought 3,000 shares. The stock went up 15 cents. Maybe you took the quick $450 and said, take care. And you weren't around for all the churning of the accounts and trying to find ideas and then losing money late in the day on the SVXY. Maybe the UVXY was your only trade, because I do say you probably should only trade VWAP reversals and that's it. Because the SVXY at the end of the day was gambling. Straight up. Straight up. Wasn't a reversal, wasn't anything, but this thing usually pops into the end of the day. But it had a pop, and then it dropped, and then we had coup, coup. Coup ruined it all. What can I tell you? So proud. Look at him. Look at that guy. Oh wait, was that a guy? Oh no, it's a girl. Oh no, it's both. Yeah, how come we don't hear about the hermaphrodites? Right? You got both set of genitalia? What do we do then? He's a hero. He could fuck himself. Look at him. Or look at it. Or look at her. I don't know. But you want to take a dump in my bathroom? Go right ahead. Just don't rub your genitalia on my face. That's all I ask. That's all I ask. So proud. So proud. Look at him. Look at him go. Got a set of nuts and a vagina on the side. It's fantastic. Who wouldn't want that? You can fuck yourself all day. That's what I tell that joke to my kids. When the dog's licking his nuts, I'm like, you know why he does that? I'm like, why, Dad? Because he can.